Do you think that it's too late for you to start a YouTube channel because you are over 35? Then you're in luck. It's actually the exact opposite. You know what? This today is the best time ever to start on YouTube for you and I, grown-ups. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why it is like that. And it's not just a fluke or anything to do with the algorithm or anything like that. There is actually a very specific reason why it's like that right now. I actually have a whole list of course, of reasons why you have to start a YouTube channel if you're a grown-up. But the number one reason to start today is that you and I, grown-ups, are flocking to YouTube now. We want to watch YouTube. It's not only for the kids. And we want someone that reminds us of ourselves. So YouTube is very special in the way that people who are watching YouTube tends to flock to the creators that they either want to be or they remind them of themselves. A lot of men will watch male creators, a lot of women will watch female creators, of course with some overlap. But someone that reminds of ourselves, or if reminds of on our journey. I can see that anyone who watches this channel and my other channels are, according to YouTube data, in the same age group as I am, and everything else just reminds them of me. Everyone are like me. It's because you can better connect with me because you're like me on the other side. YouTube just relaunched a report saying that TV watch hours just overtook mobile phone watch hours. And there is also an indicator in this, according to everyone who looks to that data, that these are grown-ups or at least not kids watching, because it's someone who has access to either having it as the primary, like looking at the TV in the living room, or has a TV in their home office or at home, like a young adult, so like this. And it's not necessarily as many as the kids, because kids would be primary on the phones and on the tablets. At least that's my understanding of the data. I could be wrong, please put it in the comments, but I think that's how it is. But we also have to agree, we have to realize something, you and I. We are not getting any younger, so we need to start today. Today is the perfect day to start. Not tomorrow, not in a week, not in a month, but today. Because today you are looking for this motivation, which I'm guessing why you ended up on this video. So today, before the end of day, you need to make your first video. Or at least prepare, write down some notes, and then record it tomorrow. Because today is where you take some action, because we are not getting younger and we need to go forward. And we have many things that the kids who are starting YouTube channels don't have. We also have financial stability. We have most of us, I know there's a lot of in the same age that doesn't, but most of us has financial stability and maybe a job. So we can do this on our spare time. We have the financial means to, if this is a hobby we want to go for, then buy a camera. A 13-year-old cannot buy a camera the same way that we can. So we have the means and the opportunities to do that thing. And then you might say that you don't, but I know that many who doesn't have this as a hobby maybe are barbecuing, maybe are into motorcycles, or maybe are into riding like bicycles or anything else. Like, it's common for people to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on their hobbies in our age. So if this is the hobby you want to go into, you have the opportunity and the access to buy a camera you can get so long, gets like so far, it's called, with $1,000 for a camera and a lens and so on. You are also probably set in the work. You have found your routines at work. You're not chasing, like really, like chasing the career at the same level as you were in the 20s. That's at least. I am set in my job. I love my job, and I'm not going to switch out my job for this. I'm doing this part-time, and I encourage you to think of this the same way. Because the thing is, doing YouTube as a part-time hobby can make a side income in a way that many other hobbies can't. And it's actually built into a lot of hobbies that you can sell either your time in the hobbies, or you can sell what you produce in those hobbies and then finance the hobby. In YouTube, there is built-in financials to finance the hobby when you go further down the road. Last year, I made about $5,000 next to my full-time job. I use that money to fund more fun stuff like tech products and camera gear and so on, because that's what my hobby is and why I'm doing this. But you can also take that and put that into retirement. So think about being able to add $5,000 or maybe $10,000 extra each year to your retirement next to your full-time income. It's so much easier to get to $1,000, $2,000 or $3,000 a year creating content than it is to replace your full-time income. Because I'm guessing that you have a full-time income right now that can support your living situation. And just imagine getting to a point where you have to replace all of that. That's the fewest of all creators who get to that point. But if you accept and want to do this, and accept that maybe your path is like mine, to get a good, healthy chunk of side income. The kids, the younger people, want to hear from us. Maybe instead of targeting someone at your age, you can target someone who is 20 years younger than you. Maybe you're 40 years old and you can make a lot of videos. I see that so much. If you're 20, then you can do this now. I'm 40, and if you're 20, this is what I'd like to know at my at 20 years old. Like, you can actually give life advice on YouTube. There is nothing more cringe than watching a 17-year-old giving life advice, in my opinion, or giving productivity advice, because it's easy for a 17 or an 18 or a 21-year-old to be super productive because they live alone in their own apartment. They don't have kids, they don't have a full-time job, they only have this YouTube gig to be productive around. They don't have the same experience that you have. Maybe you have experienced both loss and maybe you have experienced very good things like getting married and having kids. Maybe you've even experienced losing your marriage, and maybe you even experienced losing friends and so on. A lot of these experience is coloring us, like making us better storytellers than the kids are. It's easier for us to actually give advice on a more nuanced way to be, if it's productivity or if it's anything else. Because we know that things are not so black and white as many content creators, especially the young ones, are showing that it could be. You can also accept the part that you make. It's easier for you to accept because you are you're grown up and you have had your job for maybe the last 10 years or have a job for the last 10 years full time. It's easy for you to accept that this is your life and that you could use this YouTube to add to your life. Instead of wanting to replace anything, you are a place right now where you can do this and add to your life, make it better. and not having the pressure of making this the full-time income and making this the thing that you need to succeed with, because you have something figured out. If you don't have anything of these figured out that we just talked about, if you don't have a job, if you don't have anything, but you're still over 35, over 40 years old, then you have a story to tell. Why you lost your job, why you lost the one or the other thing. I'm guessing that would make a bang of videos on YouTube, especially if you can connect with the camera, can connect with the viewers on the other side and be vulnerable. You can tell stories. If you're a parent like me, then you can use your storytelling skills that you are using with your kids. I was just about to say the way that we manipulate our kids to do what we want to do, because we know that yelling at them and telling them just, you need to do this because I'm in charge of you, that just doesn't work. Sometimes we need to manipulate them into doing it as something they want. Worst case scenario is that you don't make it on YouTube. You don't have a side income, and it will not take off as the way you hope to. But if this is your hobby and if you keep doing this, then there is still something to gain from it. You gain a critical skill that is going to be more and more valuable in the job market going ahead. So if you want to work with video making and want to work with something that's YouTube related, then by starting today and learning, you will, down the line, in the next 5 years, 3 years, or 7 years time, have 3, 5, or 7 years of experience as a hobby creating YouTube videos. And who knows, or we all know, at some point in many businesses, this is a skill that's going to be valued more and more. And there is businesses that don't just want to hire kids into jobs, because right now it's in marketing and in jobs like this, it's only like the youngsters, the 20-year-olds who can apply these jobs because they know how to use their phones for creating videos. They know all of these things. They're native in YouTube. They have grown up with all of these things. But you know what? It's needed in the workplace. I work in marketing. It's needed in the workplace to get grown-ups who have life experience and who knows how to handle a camera and to talk to a camera and to edit a video and to upload to YouTube, and not to be afraid of social media. So the worst thing that could ever happen to you if you start a YouTube channel is that you gain a critical skill for the workplace of the future. That's not just such a bad thing, in my opinion. I hope to see you on YouTube in the future. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, consider subscribing. Bye.